Yeah, I mean, obviously Kaká is an important piece for them, but with or without him, they're still very dynamic in the attack. So what's going to be important is for us to limit the amount of times that Kyle Aaron, Breckshay, and Molino can get out on the run and be in attacking transition. That requires us to, when we have possession, to make sure that behind the ball we're organized and that we don't give up a lot of space. So it'll be a big task on the day. They've caused us troubles. So I think they'll come with a similar game plan, even under a different coach. But we'll be prepared for them in a lot of different ways.
Considering that they're in a little bit of a slump right now, obviously they just fired their head coach. Might be trying to play a little more defensive and sitting back. Is that something that you're preparing for, and how are you going to break them down?
Well, I think what's important is that knowing that they need points and that they've had a tough stretch is for us to have a good start. Like the longer we let them, I think, stay in the game and gain momentum and feel good about where they're at within the match, the more dangerous they become. And, you know, it takes one game to turn a season around. So if we go into this naive or expecting them to lay down, and I think we'll set ourselves up for failure. So in all ways, we're expecting them to come after us, have a good start, really make it hard on us, be dangerous like they've always been, and the key is for us to be ready for that.
You haven't gotten a victory in your last 5 games. How important is it going to be to come out on Wednesday with a victory, especially with Philly and NYCFC coming up?
No, I mean, right now all these Eastern Conference foes are 6-point matches. And, you know, your season can start to slip away from you on the table if you're not able to capitalize, especially at games at home. So the difference between losing 3 points and gaining 3 points in this is big on the table. So we have to make sure that we come away with, you know, the result that we need.
Is this a good chance also for your attack to get going again, or has it just been the ball hasn't been rolling?
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's, you know, I would put some of the troubles in the attacking part of the field to the fact that we've just had a lot of games, a lot of travel, heavy legs, and, you know, that's in one level that's an excuse, but at another level it's a reality. So, you know, we'll try to be sharp in this game. Obviously, if we can get an early lead and expand on it, we can help ourselves in that way. But whatever it takes, we're going to need, whether it's guys on the field from the start or guys coming off the bench, we're going to need guys to find a way to be sharp in the attacking part of the field and make plays.
That sounds like you don't expect to see Kaká tomorrow for Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing that he's still struggling a little bit with his calf injury. We've also prepared for him to be there, and we've played against him enough to know what that looks like when he's in the game. It's actually more of a scouting dilemma with him out in the game, because the question is, do they play Molino underneath? If they don't, then who do they slot out right? I mean, if they do play him underneath, who do they slot out right? And they did it with Sarin last game with mixed results. So, you know, we're not exactly sure what we're going to see with or without Kaká, but we'll be ready for it.
I know we've probably asked a couple times this year, is this a must-win game? But are you concerned if you don't get a win sometime this week that things might go in a negative trend?
Well, you know, listen, the reality is it's not a must-win game. But certainly, you know, we've demanded so much of our mental approach and our mentality to compete in matches that when you don't get results, it really starts to wear on everybody. So, you know, it's going to take a win, a play, whatever, to get us back on a roll again. And then I feel like once we do, then we can get some momentum going. Now, in there, there's also been a lot of good moments in some of these games. So it's not like we've played horribly. It's just we haven't been able to reward ourselves enough.
You guys have the game on Sunday against Portland. You're playing midweek, and then you'll be heading down to Philly at the weekend again. Are you planning on rotating the squad to keep the legs fresh?
Well, we'll have to look a little bit at how guys are feeling. And, you know, it's the situation where Orlando has 2 more days rest than we do. Then when we go down to Philly, they have 4 more days rest than we do. So the schedule has not done us any favors this year, but that's what it is, and we have to deal with it. And yeah, we want to limit, we want to put fresh legs on the field. We want to limit, you know, injuries. We want to try to set ourselves up to succeed now and in the future. So, you know, I mean, we'll look to rotate some guys, but we also know it's important to have a good core of players that we usually depend on the field to get the result.